So I'm asking for prayers from you guys. If you don't pray, can you meditate, or can you just positive think, or walk around and say some mantras, like whatever your gig is? I'm asking for some power from the humans in the universe to speak out for me, because we are in this beautiful condo in Puerto Rico. Like, everybody wants to buy in these condos, and I'm going, there ain't no way I'm buying in these condos. You know why? Because the internet sucks. Like, I'm sitting here like struggling with the internet. So I'm going to ask all of you guys right now to just simply say out loud, the internet is going to stay strong. The internet is going to stay strong. Come on, Nancy, I can see your mouth not even moving. The internet is going to stay strong, right, Melissa? Thank you. I can tell my people who are out there powering it up with me. Thank you. Listen, we're out there saying positive things all the time to be able to manifest what we want. And I need a little bit of your guys' love today. So, so first of all, welcome to Thursday of your life. Welcome to the Thursday of your life. Welcome to probably one of my more favorite topics to talk about, which is how do you create that it factor in you? That it factor is the thing that's called you, that is explosively great. And when you really align with it, you stop looking at somebody on a stage and saying, oh my gosh, I got to change my talk because that was so good, or what they just did with the audience, that had the audience like roar in excitement. I need to do that. Like, note to self, I need to do that. And so instead of being in this almost, and I don't say this crassly, but almost this bipolar conversation with you. And if you have bipolar, just know that I'm not playing on words. I'm giving a visual here. And like, but there's this bipolar relationship with you and your identity and going out there and helping people. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? So I'm trying, what my intention is, and by the way, we have a client that literally got out of the how to, which is important. Tactics are important to create tangible results. We're going to create tangible results today. But your intention is more important than what we say in our leadership program, the mechanism. And the mechanism is, you know, if I'm going to get up and walk across this room, like, everybody look across your room right now, right? Or if you're walking down the street, look to the future. And if I'm going to walk across the room, there's so many ways that I can get across the room. Right, guys? How many ways? Somebody go in the chat. Tell me, how could you get across the room? You could walk, but give me a different way. Give me a different way. You could dance, you could crawl, you could jump. Of course, the VIP experience is like all over this, right? You can skip, you can hop, you can break dance, you can shimmy, right? You can roll. I love that. I can ride my chair. That's so good. I love that. Okay, so yeah. So marketing's like that. Marketing's like that. Selling is like that. When you hear us say things like, you got to pivot, you got to pivot, you got to pivot, it's literally because you're finding a new mechanism to get across the room. You're finding a new mechanism to be able to help somebody. And I know we get really stuck on this thing where you're like, just show me how to fill a live event. How many guys are doing live events right now? Put events in the comment section so I can see. How many guys are doing live events right now? Put events in the comment section. I'm curious, because if you are doing events, I should bring out some ninja stuff to teach you guys on events coming up in the next month or something. How many guys want to do events? If you want to do events, just put want events, or want to do events. Put something like that. If you want to do events, put want events, so that I know, because if there is a desire, events are one of the fastest ways to the highest cash flow. Okay, and so it could be in real estate, you might call it a seminar or a conference. Doctors might call it a seminar or conference. Coaches, consultants, spiritual people call it retreats. It's all the same thing. It is all the exact same thing, right? And so it's just language in different industries. So if you want to do events, put want to do events in the comment section so I can see. That'd be really helpful, because if you don't want to do events, I won't bring anything out about events. But it is a high cash flow opportunity and a high cash injection opportunity. So, but today I want to talk to you about this it factor. And you have to stop comparing yourself to other people unless you're just like them. Okay, so you know that there's some people in the world that you see and you feel this, oh my God, I love this person. We're like sisters, we're like bros, we're like, like, you know what I mean? There's this camaraderie that you're like, I am just like that person. Have any of you guys ever coached or mentored with someone who is just like you? Where you look at them and you're like, I could get that result because I'm just like that person. So what a lot of people do is they connect with what somebody's doing wrong. Oh my God, I do that too. I have a trigger there. Or they connect with, oh my gosh, like I think like that. Why don't I go out there and deliver a message? So you've got to speak, whether it's virtual, on a video, or an Instagram, or a YouTube. If you're not doing YouTube shorts right now, you should be thinking about it because it's there's little moments where you get a lot of traffic. And YouTube shorts is a way to get a lot of traffic right now. TikTok, I have a real mixed emotion about TikTok because I could just throw it to the wall and do it. But I also know that TikTok takes, like, you don't own anything on your phone. And so I'm not trying to get into China or this, that, and the other, but it is 100% they have access to everything on your phone and you give that terms and conditions away. So I'm very, very hesitant on TikTok. I'm on it, but I wouldn't say I'm really on it. I have an account and I debate with myself all the time about like shutting it down. Okay, and where the tug is there's so much business on TikTok. And so now it becomes, do I give up? Do I ignore what I know and do TikTok and roll the dice and see if I get hurt somewhere, which I won't be able to blame anybody but myself? Or do I stand my ground, which we talked about on Monday, right? Do I have enough of a stand in me that I'm going to shut that down? And so that's a real conversation. So I'm going to say YouTube is a smart place, and there's a moment right now where YouTube Shorts will give you a lot of traffic. And if you're new to me and like you haven't watched a lot of our lives, or you haven't really been too connected with us, put the word new in the comment section. Put the word new in the comment section. And I'd love to actually survey all of you right now. How long have the people who have been either engaging with us as a client or following us online, how many years or months? How many years or months? If you could just let me know that too, it's really cool. So if you're new, you really just watched one or two things, like you haven't really been embraced, put the word new. But if you've been like with us, I'd love to see the months or the years that you've been following us. It's really cool. 12 to 18 months, 6 weeks, 1 year, since November 2022, 7 months, 8 months, 2.5 years. Yeah, Donna White. 5 years. Margarita, so cool. June, 5 years. Rev, Wendy, been around for a while. So good. Okay, good. Okay, thanks for doing that. I love to see that. And by the way, those are all survey questions that you should be asking all the time. If you watch me, I'm more interested in finding out what's happening with you than I am with me being good. Did you hear that? I'm more interested to know what's happening with you than me being good on a stage. And the reason why is because when you understand what's happening with other people, you can serve them. So I know where you are in the ecosystem, which means how many of you guys have actually spent some real time growing your email list to 5,000 or more, right? Put I have, or put me, right? Mindy has, Adora has, right? Adora, real quick, let's pop Adora up real quick. Pop Adora up real quick, Suzanne. Awesome. So I'm going to unmute you. So just pop your thing off. So you're perfect. So Adora, we showed you how to build an email list. The reason why, and a text message list. The reason why this is important, and by the way, if I wanted to make an offer right now, this would be the right time to make an offer after her. So I'm not going to make an offer, but I want to teach you this because you need to be making offers all the time. Like, I don't want to just make offers and not teach you. I want to teach you to be doing this. Right? So just because I asked that survey question, it jogged something up in my mind because I saw a lot of fairly new people, or in the last 6 months, 4 months, 7 months. So I will tell you, if you do not have an email and text message list, before growing your social media platforms, before looking at what's my perfect signature talk, before starting a podcast, before going, what's my online course, before going, what's my message. If you put any of those things I just said before the email list and the text message list, you are making a huge financial mistake in your business. Huge. Some of you guys need to write yourself a little note right now. You're going to focus on building your list, your email, and your text message list. Adora is somebody that we help do that. Adora, can you just share really quickly where you were and what happened after the list?
Yeah, so before I started learning from you, and the first thing I took was list power, and I did it. Like, my summit was done before I had a coaching call that I booked, because I took action, which you tell us to do. So I think that's really important. I had a list of about 1,000 or 1,500 roughly, and now it's closer to 14,000.
I want to put this into perspective, you guys. 14,000 people on an email list. Who would love to have that? Put me, to say rock it, Adora, right? So 14,000. If you spent $15, okay, and some of you guys have seen me do this, but it's a great reminder to have gratitude if you have a list, and however many people are on the list, right? So if I took $15, if I paid $15, that's a good rate for an opt-in, which means they've joined your list. If I spend $15, her list is worth $210,000. This is real money, y'all. People are always like, we made an offer at our last event, and I told people if they built their email list in 60 days, if they signed up with our program, this is not an offer, but it was at an event. And I said, if you sign up in the next 20 minutes, so just so everybody's clear, because people don't listen, this is not an offer, but I'm giving you an example of one, how easy it is to say. I'd have someone like Adora come and talk and share success, and then I would say, here's the offer. Then what moves the cart is a bonus, and a good one that takes care of your people. But if you don't ask questions, you can't land your communication, because you will talk about your products and services, and you'll miss out on creating bonuses or creating messaging that actually fits where your audience is at right now. That's why you've got to ask these survey questions. Whenever you go live, when you send out emails, you can hit reply to this email. When you do an Instagram, when you do a YouTube, ask a question. Some of you guys are so focused on, I want to get comments. Like, F the comments. Like, be more interested in, I want to get to know my people, right? And ask viable questions that people can answer just while you're doing a presentation or sharing something. So Adora, so if I had somebody like Adora and I made the offer, and on one of our last events in our List Power program, we always make an offer, right? So I teach the workshop. So some of you guys are doing fulfillment right now, and you're not making any offers because you're like, they already bought it. Why would you do that? Like, make another offer, and a good offer, one that they want, and don't be attached to whether or not anybody buys it or not. Do it more from the heart of generosity, that you're just going to do it. And if it's the right fit for someone, they are going to be thankful that you made an offer for them to continue. So I made an offer, and I said, if anybody buys the next 20 minutes, and I had a URL, then I will, if you buy the next 20 minutes and you actually do what Adora did, right? Because I want to, telling you, motivating entrepreneurs to actually do the work is a whole freaking business. Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys are willing to pay, but then to make you do the work, that's why I offered my leadership program yesterday. That gets you to get out of your own way to do your work, right? And then even then some people were like, Suzanne messaged me this morning and said, people are going, oh my God, the dates don't work for me. Just pick another date, right? Or, oh my gosh, the bonus she gave to come to Puerto Rico, I don't know when that is. What is it? Why does it matter? Oh, because I got to organize my life. You got to let go of control. You got to let go of control. It was a bonus. You didn't pay for it. So if you can't come, you can't come. But the offer yesterday was such a great offer at over 50% discount to get you out of your own way. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So I made this offer in our list building program. And I said, if you do what I teach you in 60 days, and I think I said make $500 or $700. In other words, monetize it like quickly in 60 days. then I'll send an email to my list.
Mm.
Look at what her list is worth $210,000. What do you think my list is worth?
Mm.
A lot.
A lot.
Right? To get in front of these lists is like getting in front of an audience. It's like, it is getting in front of an audience. It's like walking into an auditorium, walking into an auditorium. If you have 14,000 people in an event, a live event, that's epic. You know what I mean? And so now you practice your offer, you practice your giving, you practice your building authority. If people don't buy from you, it's because something's up with the way that you're presenting. So we're going to get into that today. So Dora, just real quick. So you built your list of 14,000. You had about 1,000 people on your list before you met us. And what have you done with that?
Well, so much. I mean, so much. I've used it as the base. We did the Can You Really Think and Grow Rich tour, in which the Napoleon Hill Foundation actually emailed out for us. And that's huge because you were on that tour, Shanda, and lots of things. But one thing I want to say is December, a month that I normally take off because I learned that from you. And on a week that I was on the cruise, and in generosity and wanting to give to my community, wanting to build relationship with you, I jumped in on promoting the leadership program and the revenue challenge. And in an off time, earned an extra, I think, $4,000 with a list when I normally be off. And of course, that takes someone who has a really great offer and a great presence and something I really believe in. But I was off on a cruise. And it was a month that I didn't have slated for anything. So that really speaks to what you always say, that even if you don't know who you are yet or what you're moving, build the list, because someone with a great offer can help you monetize that.
So good. Margarita's like, thank you. That's amazing. Awesome. We love you, Adora. Give Adora some love, you guys. Awesome. I wanted to share that because, and that's a good point, right? So it's like, even if you don't know what to sell, like, can we all up our leadership and stop being in this conversation like, I can't make money or I can't do this because I don't know what to sell, I don't know what to price at. If you build the list, I wish I was just going to give an offer for the list right now, but like, because this would be a perfect, do you see what I'm saying? When you're being real and you're being authentic, this would be a perfect spot for me to make a list building offer. Do you get what I'm saying? So couple things. You have to give up your excuses because there's someone who knows. If you want to build a business, I can show you how to build a business, right? Like that is cash is my superpower. If someone gives me a target to hit cash, I'll hit it, right? But if I'm not connected to the numbers, which is why I like you to get connected to the numbers all the time. So even if you make $0 at the end of the day, I want you to put it up on a wall and put end of day revenue. EDR, end of day revenue. Will you guys do this for yourself? I'm telling you, you'll get tired of looking at zero. And what you'll do is you'll start to realign your calendar, which I think we talked about on Tuesday. How powerful has been Shanda On Demand this week, guys? Seriously, I mean, if you could sum it up in a couple words, what would you say in the comment section right now? Especially for the people who like just got an email and saw an email today and they joined us. How powerful has Shanda On Demand been this week? Absolutely fire, life-changing, powerful, life-changing, priceless, high value dollar symbols, high level, off the charts, mind-blowing, right? So if you're on social media right now, you guys on Zoom can't do this with me. If you're on social media right now, share this, because there is reciprocity when you hook other people up, right? Share the lives. If you're on Facebook right now, share it, tag somebody, tell them to be on it, right? Like get them out, help people, because leaders never win alone, okay? So I want you to write this down now. It factor. The it factor, yes, it's about you. But the it factor is more about who you are to other people. So true story, I never wanted to speak. I thought coaching was selling snake oil. I remember sitting with Mark Victor Hansen in Newport Beach. And I wasn't I didn't know him, but I knew my girlfriend, Cynthia Kersey, who's really close to him. And Cynthia invites me to this lunch, and we go to this lunch, and Mark Victor Hansen's there from Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I remember being starstruck, going, oh my gosh, he's the dude that wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. And, you know, and even though I had never read the book, you know the book, even if you've never read the book, right? And so I'm sitting there, and leaders can't help but to rise you up. So he's asking me questions that I can't answer, which is about my future and about the contribution I'm going to give to the world. And I can't even think past the fact that I just need to figure out what I'm going to do with my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm at another low point, another restarting moment. Who's hitting reset on your life right now? You're starting at ground zero again, right? It's a shitty place. I have to say, it's a shitty place. And that's where I was sitting at this table, and it felt like a shitty place. Some of you guys might feel like it's a great place, but I felt like it was a shitty place because I had to reinvent myself. And it always feels amazing for a second about reinventing, and then you face the road. You guys know the road? The daunting road. How am I really going to make money? How is my life going to change? Am I going to make it? And now it becomes all about you, and like, how do the intensity grows, right? So the urgency grows, which is great, but the road is brutal. Can I get a yes on that? Because it's brutal. And there's many of them in our lives that we're going to face and continue to face. So I'm sitting there and I'm facing the road. And I got Mark Victor Hansen at the table, and he's drilling me. And I'm just like, what a blessed moment, right? To have somebody that isn't going to sit there and buy my you know what. And he's like, you should be a coach. You are phenomenal at coaching. And I'm like, Mark, I said, I don't, like, I came from literally, I thought like speakers and authors and coaches, I think I actually said, I'm clear I don't want to be a speaker, a coach, or an author because it's not a real career. I mean, I said this to Mark Victor Hansen. What the heck does the dude do? He speaks, he writes books, and he's like a mentor, and he also is a serial entrepreneur. He owns so many businesses. It's unbelievable how many businesses he owns, because he's like Tony Robbins. He uses his fame to be able to influence other companies, and he takes percentages, right? And so he was graceful. He did not say, do you want to take your foot out of your mouth? He worked with me. Right? And then I ended up starting this company, which is wild, from a moment that a leader took time and poured into me. So you need to know that how you land your message matters. And it's so important to not get triggered and offended. Right? I just had a client last night that got offended by something, not something I did, but offended. And I got to see her leadership, and I'm like, listen, always take the high road. Doesn't matter what employees do, contractors do, always take the high road, because people are always going to talk. You're going to have clients that are always going to judge you, or customers. You're going to have videos, if you're doing a good job, that people are going to not agree with. And we live in a world that people have low leadership, so they rather battle and talk shit behind your back than to be a leader and be graceful and realize they have shit too. Right? Like, it's in the Bible that this prostitute's about to be stoned. And Jesus says, let the first person who hasn't sinned throw the first rock. You get what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, you've never, like, every single one of us. This is why you gain your leadership and your composure. If you, this is how prophets are created. Because when someone walks in the office of a prophet, they don't talk smack about people. Do you get what I'm saying? Because what comes out of your mouth, it has to manifest. And so if you want the power of authority, and I'm getting a little biblical, but that's not what I'm trying to do. You can go to so many personal development or people teaching speaking courses. They figured this out. They figured this out, even if they don't know the scriptures. They've actually figured out, oh, when I do this, it works, right? And so you cannot hide your heart. It will come out. And so I urge you to practice walking in the office of a prophet, which is edit your words, because the minute you start to speak about other people, when you go to speak to sell, it will be jaded. And now let me just put that over all of your finances, your relationships. When things are falling apart, I'm telling you, you're causal, right? We use the word source, which does not mean God in HCL, although some people like to pretend that it does. It doesn't. As you go to Netflix and you hit the button, it says source. You're sourcing in to the Netflix video. Your source, like in the essence of your causal, right? You are the thing that walks through this earth. And if you want to land your communication and have an it factor, you must realize who you are to people. Is this helping y'all? So I'm going to ask you to do something powerful today and do some homework and write this down. I want you to journal about what it's like to be in relationship with you. Okay, I'm going to give you a caveat. I'm not asking you to go into the shit of all the shit of who you are. The most successful CEOs in the entire world are the hardest to work for. You know why? They hold their team to the highest standard. Do you know that there's two types of people in the world? And you got to ask yourself who you want to be. By the way, if I wanted to make an offer, this is another place to make an offer. And the reason why is because I'm doing a comparable right now. And it's a real one. And you'll know what camp you lay in. There's two types of people in the world. So this would be a transition to an offer. You guys following me? Yes? So darn it, I wish I had an offer to like flow out there that would fit this story, but it doesn't. So you got two types of people. You got the people that they always hit it. Do you know what I mean? Like you can take a Mack truck up against their life and smash them down, and they will cry on the floor, and then they will get up, and then they will start picking everybody up around them, counsel them, help them, and get the team assembled to start working on, we got to clean up this mess. Those are leaders. Then you have the group that not even a Mack truck, a Tonka truck hits their life, right? And then they're a mess. They're a complete mess, right? The reason why I'm telling you this is because as you go to deliver your message out there, if you want authority, you have to be the one that the Mack truck can hit. Like I've had miscarriages on stages. I'm not proud of that. It sucks. I remember not one person on my team knows when my husband and I sat in our suite in Hawaii and bawled our eyes out on the floor when there's blood everywhere. Like it could make me cry again, right? Because I can remember that moment. It was brutal. And then but you know what the most beautiful part of that was? My husband holding me and the intimacy of that moment. And then getting back up and going, okay, I feel good. Like not feel good, but like, thank you for being there for me. And then having to get dressed, walk downstairs and lead an event. You know what I mean? Where I'm sitting in a chair because I'm afraid I'm going to bleed out. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's wild to say, but like the same story, different atmosphere. I remember not wanting to speak. It was all about me. Before I could be the type of person who could have a Mack truck hit my life, I was the type of person who was selfish. I mean, I wouldn't have called myself selfish, but I was. You cannot have an it factor if you're selfish. You cannot, which means that you will live without it. You have to build anything, but I'm telling you, you have a choice today on whether or not you want an it factor or not. Okay, so when I didn't want to speak, I would say things, and you guys got to ask yourself, where are you saying that you don't want to do something? Where are you saying that you don't want to do something? Write that down. So there's yes, what is it like being in a relationship with you? But you need to ask yourself, when you look the lens over it, are you being a CEO? I'm not telling you to put the lens over like what it's like to, like for Zach to be with me as a mom. I mean, I've got some power and I've got some things I got to work on, right? Just like you on anything. But like when you put the lens over, are you holding standards? Because if you are, people are pissed. And the minute you increase your standards, people will leave your life and more will come in. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You've probably seen it in your life, right? As you raise your standards, your friends change, the people you do business with changes. Not always. There's people who roll with you. I remember Clayton from Infusionsoft said to me, every time you grow your business two jumps, a bunch of team changes. And I'm like, why? And he goes, Shanda, the biggest lesson I had to learn is I wanted to love them all forever. I wanted to be with this team forever. And he goes, but the problem is they start sucking the team back. Right? And he's like, they don't like it. They don't know why, but they don't like it because there's a leadership level that they want to stay at a certain vibration, a certain level, a certain standard. And as things go up, do you think your marriages or your relationships have to change, like the way that you operate as your income goes up? Yes, they have to, because the demand on your life changes. They absolutely have to. Okay, so ground this. What's it like being in a relationship with you? Put the lens over that. Is there a high standard in that? Because there's going to be rub, if there is. But you want to edit yourself. Rex Crane, my friend Rex Crane, always looks for a character that he wants to up level in himself. So there's a character. We say this in HCL leadership. We say, who do you want to be to get there? Because you have to change who you are. You have to raise your standards somewhere to go there. It's not like I got to be compassionate, or I got to be this, or I got to be driven, or I got to use my voice, or I got to, like, it's going to change. Otherwise, you'd already have that thing in your life. So I want you to go over that journaling with a lens of a CEO, because that's what you're playing. Okay, that's the role you're playing. Then you want to look at the it factor has everything to do with your ability to be something to other people. So when I didn't want to speak, I didn't want to do Facebook Lives, I didn't want to do live streams, I didn't want to do any of this stuff. I love it now, but now it's like, this is the most profitable place for me to be, is connecting with you, building love, trust, honor, relationship, because for this company to grow and for us to do our mission, you have to invest. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I only speak to you when I'm doing like a campaign, then yes, we will sell, but I actually would like to get you all off the diet plan of wealth. Do you understand what I mean? Have you ever been on a diet and then you get off the diet and then you get fat again? You get what I'm saying? Yes. And so people are building their businesses like that. And that looks like launch done, launch done, launch done. The most successful companies I know make daily end-of-day income. And I want you to start getting obsessed with tracking that. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about money. Tomorrow in the VIP experience, we're going to role play with Ash. Are you guys excited about that? Heck yeah, right? It's going to be awesome. But I'm going to have Ash on, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how we recruit salespeople. And even if you don't feel ready, I want you to be on tomorrow's training. Can I get a yes? I'll be on tomorrow's training, because I want you to not feel ready, because I want you to lead up. I can show you how to build lists. In fact, everybody who bought Hardcore Leadership yesterday, I'll give you all the list building program. You happy about that? Yes or no? Bunch of you guys bought Hardcore Leadership yesterday. I'll give you guys all the list building training, and I'll train you how to build the list. Okay, is that awesome? Yes. So that being said, I want you guys, write this down. Build an email and text message list. Focus on end-of-day revenue. And it's okay if it's a zero, still report it, because you'll get sick of looking at that. If you don't report it, it's like, why am I gaining weight? I eat salads all the time. Well, maybe you need to add a little fat into your diet so your body loses some weight. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't figure it out if you don't track it. So end of day revenue. And then the flip of that is that is that I want you to get your income off of a diet. I want you to get used to making offers or creating opportunities to be able to have people buy from you every single day. You guys good with that? And over the coming months on Shanda On Demand, I will teach it. Obviously, it helps if you're in our Mentor Me Live program. That's where we focus on business building. It obviously helps for obvious reasons because of the fact that it puts us in a position where we can actually gift you a coach, or not gift you, but you get a coach, you get the ability to be able to track with someone to hold your hand, okay? If you are interested in our Mentor Me Live program, put MML. If you're interested in our Mentor Me Live program, put MML so that we can see you, because I don't have an offer for you on it. If you're interested in Mentor Me Live, put MML in the comment section. If you're interested in did you notice how many times I'm saying this? Because, and I want you to learn from this. Okay, so for some of you guys, you don't want to waste this year. You don't want to be in a position where you're like, oh my God, trial and error, it didn't produce an overflowing bank account yesterday or last year. And so I'm going to stop trial and error, I'm going to get some help. When you invest in a good business coach, you should have targets where that business coach is paid for by the increase in income in your business. But you have to lead that. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're paying $1,000 for a coach, I'm just making this number up, paying $1,000 for a coach, you're like, I want to be producing $2,000 from my coaching in the next 60 days every month, which means you're profiting 1,000. I'm not saying that should be your goal, but I'm saying that's how you think. But you drive that in your leadership. Okay, so write this down. There are controllers. There are controllers. There are promoters. There are supporters. And there are analyzers. And every personality test has some variation of that. And the way you interpret the data matters. We do this in our practice section of our leadership training. And we actually put this lens over top of your goals. That's how we're so effective at coaching you there. Okay? And so if you're a controller, first of all, you need to know in your marketing, you need to speak to all four. So the days of saying, Colleen, if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't stand negative people because I'm so happy, and negative people just, they suck the energy out of me. You can't talk like that anymore. Because the negative people are usually the analyzers. And God built them like that for a reason. They save your ass on your budgeting. They save your ass on negotiating and not paying too much. Like, you need to start respecting people. This is why you have to get out of the offense mentality, because you're missing the team. You're missing the team. I had 2 employees that couldn't stand each other, accounting and coaching, and couldn't stand each other. I got them on the same call and had them look at their personality quadrants and taught them how to style flex. They became best friends within 2 weeks. And all they did was complain about each other. Okay? Now they're both very proficient in this area, right? And so you have to be able to speak to all these pieces. Now, strength on controllers, you need to get to the point in some of your emails. So if you're using Chat GPT, I recommend you write an email. You don't have to be a good email writer anymore. You just need to be honest, which means if you're comparing yourself to somebody else, you're losing your it factor, because that's all about you. You guys get this in leadership? Like when you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not so-and-so, like that, you dump that leadership, because it isn't in a mindset, it's in poverty. None of us were made exactly like each other. That's what makes us unique. Okay, so controllers, you got to write emails. So you should be sending out, if you don't have an email list, I'm going to train you, especially if you did our leadership program, right? I'm going to train you. You can always write email list, or I need a list, and our team can send you a URL to be able to go take that program if you want. Okay, but don't hesitate on something like that. But when you have an email list, you should send out 3 to 4 emails a day. So if you sent out 4, you could hit all these quadrants. You could also mix a controller and an analyzer together. You should write this down. You can write an email You can write an email, pop it in Chat GPT and say, write this in a direct way and add a statistic in this. That would hit a controller and analyzer. Is this helpful? Yes or no? Right? The prompts, this is leadership. I'm solving problems using AI instead of just going, oh, that email didn't convert. Well, it didn't convert because of us, our leadership, how we prompted it. That's why leadership is everything. It's everything. What is leadership, y'all? Everything. Okay? So you go, so now you could do controller analyzer. You could do controller supporter. So what would that look like? Write an empathetic email that's still direct and to the point. So you take your email, pop it in Chat GPT and say, write a empathetic email that's direct and to the point. Like, right? Like, or rewrite this email direct, empathetic and direct and to the point. And it will do that. Now you've gotten controller and you've gotten supporter. You cannot put promoter and analyzer together. You got to hear me on this. If an analyzer reads an email that's like, oh my gosh, like it's Pollyanna, the world is the most amazing place in the entire world. Like, oh my gosh, don't you just love being positive? The analyzer is skeptical every time a promoter gets that high because they cannot believe that anybody could ever be that happy. However, they secretly wish they were that joyful. Like, I wish I could get there, but I can't because this is a real world that we live in. Okay, so that's like the battle. So do not write really inspired copy with analytics. Okay, if you're trying to hit both of those people together. You can do supporter controller. You can do analyzer controller, analyzer supporter. Okay, so now I know there's a lot that I could teach you on this, but you have to learn how to land your communication with these different quadrants. How many of you guys are married to a different quadrant? What's the quadrant? Right? What's the quadrant? Go in the section. What's the quadrant? And I'm going to switch to VIP in a second. Analyzer controller. I'm married to a controller. Lots of you guys are married to controllers, huh? Analyzing controllers. Shit, you guys got some tough households. You guys got some tough households. Well, it says a lot about you. It just honestly says that you like powerful people. Analyzer, wow, I cannot believe how many analyzer controllers are controlling analyzers. Wow. Okay, so what is a quadrant, Brad? A quadrant is a promoter, is a quadrant. Promoters are the type of people who they love to be happy. They love to be energetic. They love to be on the top of the mountain. They love to go to like yoga and talk about how good they feel. Like they just love to be, they love to be with people. They're like this. Like, I'm a promoter. I sing. Like, I'm like, good morning. Like when my family's going for a dog walk this way, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll come. I'm coming. Like, I don't want to miss that time with you. That's a promoter. Okay. Now I style flex into all of them. And so I'm very even on the quadrant, but when I started leadership, I was not. I was a high controller and I was a high promoter, but you never saw my promoter because I was damaged. Okay, so my promoter only came out when I didn't have pressure in my life. So if I had pressure, a new relationship was pressure for me because I'd lose my routines and then I'd be mad that I wasn't going to the gym. Or are you guys seeing yourself? Right? So that's all losing your power. That is an indication you need leadership help, right? And so so my promoter only came out really when I was with my girlfriends. I'd see you for a long time, see my family when I haven't seen them for a while, or I just felt good and I didn't feel the pressure. The minute I felt pressure, I was very, very controlling, at which bulldozes. Controlling people bulldoze. Most top position people are some level of controlling, but the bulldozing does not work. You lose authority. Doesn't mean that controllers don't drop into it sometimes. They drop into it when they're scared. They drop into it when they stop trusting somebody in their life. They do it when there's, you get what I'm saying? Now, a controller that's in their power will rise people up like crazy. They give them an opportunity to lead, and then if they fail, they will jump back in and take over. That's what a controller will do. Do you get what I'm saying? And a good controller in their power will tell people, I'm going to start doing this. They give warning. Now a supporter will teach you, will sit with you for hours, and they will help you get all the things you need, right? At the expense of themselves. If they need leadership work. And they'll say, well, that's just who I am. No. You are all the quadrants if you learn how to style flex. So when people are not winning under me, I know I need to flex into my supporter and give them more teaching time, right? So I do that really well for my coaching clients. I do not do that as well for my team. That's why I need a really strong number 2 that can do coaching training, or I need really strong leaders around me that could say, hey, I specifically need this training from you. And then I'll compassionately go in and help. But I don't live in supporter mode unless I'm asked to flex into it. Make sense? So I live there with coaching clients. Are you guys seeing yourself in this? Analytical. I live in analytical all the time, which is weird for a lot of you guys to maybe think. If you're a promoter, you typically don't like analytics, but I love analytics. But that's because I've learned how to style flex into them. Analytics show me, this is why I want you to track your numbers. If I can get you to track your revenue every day, you will start to see patterns, and you will start to style flex into analytics, and you will start running your life off data. And the analyzers in your life will love you for it because they'll have more respect for you. Their trust will get better. They will stop being negative because they'll actually think that you're being responsible, which you are. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So you can manage the analyzers in your life and their negativity by starting to talk in data, which every single one of you guys can do. Okay, so I want you to, here's I gave you homework on journaling, but I'm going to give you another piece because you're entrepreneurs and we're coming to the end of the week. I'm going to recommend that you go to ChatGPT and write a direct response marketing piece with any of the quadrants, prompt it. And I want you to do a call to action in your industry. So say I was in relationships or I was in real estate, whatever. I would say if I was in real estate, I would write a piece with ChatGPT and I'd post it on Facebook or Instagram. And I would ask for ChatGPT to make it like a social post, right? A social media post, or make it shorter. And I would first write on a Word doc what I think about the real estate market if I was in real estate. And I would say, it's some of the best times to buy real estate without a bank, which is a hook. And it doesn't really even matter what your credit is, although it could help. And here's why. It's become a seller's market, and the market will rebound back up. If you buy a home right now, it doesn't even have to be at an extreme discount. But if you buy a home right now, priced well, and you're a little embarrassed to make the offer, you've probably set your financial future up to win. If you want to know about how to do that, comment the word win or comment the word freedom below. Now take that, and by the way, you guys could do that. You could take that. This video is on Facebook and YouTube right now. You could rewatch this piece and write your own off my swipe. Just change the real estate into an opinion at the beginning. You got to put it on a runway, which means a timestamp. Why now is important. If you are in health or wellness, listen, we are going into the second quarter of the year. So in just a couple months, it's going to be summertime. Why would you ever let your body be less than what you want it to be when the summer hits? Right? Maybe you can't control money or love, but you can control how you feel in your own skin. if you want to get in great shape for the holiday, or you want to get in great, not holidays, you want to get in great shape for the summer, comment your commitment below, or comment the word committed below, and declare it out loud. Right now, all those people, and I take that in ChatGPT, and I'd ask to write me a few different variations of that. And over the next couple weeks, I would post the different variations. Add a statistic on people who are in shape to this. You know what I mean? Add a statistic on people who bought real estate in 2008 and financially won to this, right? Like, so you wanna, so see how I've made it analytical? So I'm gonna recommend that you make a commitment for the next 7 days that you post something every day and have a CTA. CTA is call to action. It could be, if you want help in this area, comment the word help. Right, that's a great CTA. So I'm going to ask you to make a commitment from today, Thursday, to next Thursday, that you post every day. And when the CTAs, when the people start commenting, and if you have an email list, I would love you to send it to your email list and hit reply to this email. When they do that, it will increase your algorithms on email, which it will increase your deliverability. Okay, and so now what you're doing is you're getting what we talked about yesterday, right? Connect, engage, service, make an offer. Connect, engage, service, make an offer. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you better go watch yesterday's Shanda On Demand. Because now between yesterday and today, you can start monetizing. Who's excited about that? Okay, I talked about landing your communication with everyone, because the it factor is about them, not about you. You're an it factor to people because of how you make them feel and because who you are to them. That's what gives you an it factor, and everyone can have one. All right, you guys, I'm sending you so much love. Really quickly, if you wanted to jump into leadership yesterday and you didn't, real soft nudge. The program is normally a $5,000 program. Can you guys put up the URL just so that people online can get this? If you go to joinhclnow.com, joinhclnow.com. I don't know if my team can put it up, if you guys are doing that, if somebody's there. Joinhclnow.com. Is somebody there on our team that can put this up? I don't know what's going on. So thank you. So joinhclnow.com. A couple people asked what, it doesn't matter what date you pick, meaning that just register and get the 52% discount. It's 3 programs in one, essentially. It's a 3-day virtual event. Doesn't matter what country you live in. This is the program, by the way, on why I'm married today. This is also the program on what got me out of my own way. You just need to know that, to be able to become the type of leader to do the things that I didn't want to do and now love, like speaking, and get myself out of my own way. Every decision I made entered poverty for me. Do you know what I mean? Like every decision, it didn't matter how hard I worked, I was always operating in poverty. And then I did this leadership program and my whole life changed. That's really what you need to know. It's an insurance policy for your life. You go to joinhclnow.com. You've got a 3-day vision training, which will show you how to figure out how to get through any problem, essentially. It gives you vision so you know how to get through any problem in your life. You stop being negative, you stop calling other people negative, you just stop being a freaking hot mess. And you get yourself back into the driver's seat. So you go, oh my God, I see what I need to do and I can do it. Breakthrough is 4 days. So you got a 3-day vision training, a 4-day breakthrough training, which is about a week and a half to 2 weeks later. Remember, it doesn't matter about the date, you can pick a future date, but I would recommend you don't wait too long, because it will turn the volume up on your business. Like it will have you show up in a different way. That there is no coach on this planet, no matter how good we are, that will get you to perform at that level. Okay, because the workshops, Vision and Breakthrough, are a series of exercises. You're not going to sit there with a notebook and take notes. That's not what's going to happen. You're going to be put into exercises that will be confronting to your ego, that will be confronting to your insecurities, that will be confronting to your limiting beliefs. It will be confronting. And then you will be free of them. How many of you guys need to be free of some of that stuff, right? You will be free of them. I'm telling you, isn't it annoying to take courses and not get your intended results? Yes. 99% of these guys get the results, which means that if you want to make money, or if you want to repair a relationship, In the third section to joinhclnow.com is a section called practice. And in practice, it's where you literally pick any goal you want and we will coach you. There is no upsell for a private coach or this, that, and the other. You literally, everything's included in that program for either one or two prices. You can either option one, you can do $2,300 on joinhclnow.com. That's I think a 53% discount. I mean, you could wait to pay higher later if you want to, but like, why would you pay double the income, double the investment, right? Go to joinhclnow.com. Vision Breakthrough will get you in your power. It'll get you out of your own way. And I don't know about you, but before I did this, my girlfriend who actually introduced me to this program before we owned it, she said to me, she said, Shanda, do you realize you work 7 days a week and you're never really happy? Y'all, I was a promoter at heart. I never saw myself that way. I thought I was happy, but the truth is I was always whining. And I was complaining about all the little knickknacks, the people I was dating, my boss, like that's all such, it's lame leadership. It really is lame. It's lame leadership and it doesn't produce high results in life, right? You wanna go hire somebody to babysit your kids that are like complaining all the time? No, you don't want that in your kids, right? You also don't want to work with those type of people. And some of you guys are operating that way and you need to kick that to the curb, right? And so Vision and Breakthrough will get you to the point where you're just like, okay, let's go. You'll get your energy back, you'll get your drive back, you'll get your passion back, and you'll be ready to go. And then practice is where you pick any goal you want, totally up to you. So your security in taking this program is what goal do you want in your life right now that would make this program work for you? Did you get that? What goal would you have to accomplish in this training that would make this training like, this is a sure bet for me, this is security for me? If I got that result, I would be in this training right now. I'd be a yes, right? And so that's what you need to put up in practice. I can't guarantee you anything, I'm not allowed, but I can tell you the statistics are real, that 99% of the people who have done this program in the last 3 years, we're not talking 6 months, the last 3 years, with 99% of them have hit their goal. I will tell you probably the biggest regret that I bet the graduates feel that have done this program is they wish they would have played bigger. They wish they would have played bigger. And so I'm going to encourage you today to go to joinhclnow.com before we take this page down. And if you were sitting on the fence yesterday, you're like, I just needed some questions, grab it. I will 100%, you can take any date on there, like, because we have them almost every month, but I will also give all of you guys my list building program. So you'll get access to the home study program today. I will do a full 3-day workshop and show you how to go through all the modules next month, and show you how to do all the modules and get your list building rocking. So you get your list building rocking, your leadership will be in check. Let's make some money this year. Let's change the whole trajectory of our lives because we take the right things into account and drive them forward. You guys ready for that? Yes? Okay. So if you want joinhclnow.com, grab that. Tomorrow, we are going to be going into building sales teams. And I want you to not take yourself out of the room. We've never taught this before. We've never shared what we do. It's a training that if you take notes and you want to apply it, I have a client that said to me, wow, Shanda, I coached with you for 3 years and I was always inconsistent. And she takes more vacations than anybody now, right? She's like, I was always inconsistent. I was like, yeah, I can tell you why you're inconsistent. You're always on vacation, right? She's like, yeah, but like balance is important to me. I'm like, there's another problem, right? I'm being honest. She hired 5 salespeople without being ready. She did the leadership program, got her in her driver's seat, hired 5 people because she was insane. And you know what it did? She came to me and she said, holy shit, I wish I would have done this 3 years ago. She goes, because it kept me consistent. All she had to do was one job, the list building that we taught her, and provide those leads to the sales team. And the sales team sold and her programs grew. Isn't that wild to think of like that? You're like, oh my God, I can't hire somebody. That's leadership. The truth is you think you can. But the truth is, if you actually hired somebody, you have less things to do, which by default means you grow faster. You guys, if you haven't done leadership yet, do it. Because if you're anything like me, I was making the wrong decisions, and that's why things were taking too long to get done. And it's just like the example I just shared with hiring sales team. It's like, no, you're not ready. I can get you a list within 60 to 90 days. You could be ready in the next 60 to 90 days. Tomorrow, we will show you what do we do to recruit. And we are now starting to do this every single month so that we can continue to grow at warp speed. So I want to end by saying, I believe in you. I'm excited for you. This is the year. Emotions are high in a recession. People buy off emotions. I want you to realize that it's time for you to put your marketing and your business in the right order, meaning that focus on the right things. If you have not gotten there before, I would honestly guarantee you it's a leadership problem. Every problem I'm contending with in my own life is a leadership problem. It is not a how-to problem. It is always a leadership problem, which is why I spend the majority of my life studying leadership. All right, you guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Bless your heart. Bye.